There are many places that he could go right now, and with his ability to fly, he could kind of go basically to any of them. So let us go to background world map. So he's around Everlastia, which is near the starter zone pretty much. He's between Everlastia and Bernie's tutorial zone. He could fly to any location marked on the map: Crystal Lake, Seventh Heaven, or what was left of Seventh Heaven, Summerlands, Minefields, Shadow Mountain, Wonderwall, Breathing Shore, or the Isle of Omens. There are NPCs at every location that he can interact with, so his mindset right now is that he doesn't have a lot of time, so he is kind of resigning himself to death.
He should go to the place where the alchemy village that Simone was at. What was that called?
Oh, that town doesn't exist anymore.
Oh no! What do you guys think? I don't think any of these places. He should probably just get out of the background world.
Go where?
Well, Lewis
the
might
ranch,
be.
Yeah. Lewis might.
No, he but he doesn't want his brother to see him right now. He doesn't want to risk his brother watching him explode.
He could go talk to, I guess, Tanayo and like the well. I'm not sure it'll help. I don't know what to help.
So, as he takes flight into the sky, he let's see how well he holds together. Passive opposition 4. If somebody spends a fate point, he'll be able to keep himself from taking any further stress. If not, okay. What are you going to invoke?
I can't see sheets anymore.
Just click on, your sheet. Something from your sheet or something from his?
Why not his high concept Laser King of the Moon? Because he's so fucking laser. Stable. Lasers are high at precision.
Okay.
Get someplace fast, yeah. Good speed.
Okay. When he is in flight and he invokes, or that is invoked within him, that feeling of being the Laser King of the Moon, there's a part of his spirit that does not want to resign itself to complete annihilation. It's not that he wants to hold on for the sake of holding on. It's that he still feels like he's needed in the world. And as he flies free in this digital sky, he doesn't have to worry about setting it on fire if he goes too fast. Instead, he only needs to worry about whether or not he's going to hit anything. And as he flies, he arcs, weaves, and zigzags to avoid hitting any birds or even people on flying mounts. They only see a streak of blue and gold as he just roars through the air, just cuts right through it like a blade being thrown by the hand of God. He regains 10% stability as he feels more in tune with his abilities and what he is. His path takes him back to the place where he died, the Isle of Omens and the cathedral, the witch chapel, where he basically embraced the sun and as a result was completely just roasted alive within his own skin, burned to a crisp. Even standing in front of this place again gives him that old echo of the smell, the sound, the chill air that went through the cracks in his charred flesh. Hair gone, eyes melted, everything turned to ash and black flake that would be peeled off by the wind, even if it were in the slightest bit strong. It would just be taken away upon it, the remnants of a campfire put out and forgotten. This place gives him the chills. It is a place of death, perhaps one of the closest places of death one can find outside of simply dying. Witch Chapel was built upon the well of souls that exists, the great river flowing stream of spirits that travel throughout different cycles of reincarnation as designed by the Bad Witch, who was Golden Echo. And having just spoken to its architect, he can see her hand everywhere. All of the reminders of death, all of the symbolism that would have made this place a place of significant power. Skulls, black feathers, coal and obsidian, and a chill wind that blows throughout the entire island, as well as the remnants of the undead gargoyles who used to stand upon their twisted architecture now lie dormant or dead, most of them buried and scavenged by now, harvested for materials that would be used by the crafters of the game, none of them quite aware of what they were dealing with or what it is that they're making or using. Even some of the black twisted iron fences, gates, and barricades have been broken by adventurers who have come with hammer and pick and disassembled those things so that they could make items of great value and power. Even death, it seems, has been picked over by vultures. He walks through the remnants of the island, unbothered by the thought that there may be any threats left. He has wondered at times how great they could have even been against someone like him, how easy it would have been to just throw a spear through them and explode them into a million points of light themselves, to watch those big numbers pop up above their head, as it is still a game in a way. Still, he carries himself further and deeper into the witch chapel until he encounters the beginning of the Nuadal guard that are stationed there. They seem to be alarmed, to say the least. They draw weapons immediately. Spears tipped with obsidian blades are pointed into his direction. He will need to talk his way through this unless he wants to fight them, as his goal is to go to the well itself. Something there is drawing him. So, if he wants to talk to the Nuadal to get them to not attack, what is it that he should say as a topic of conversation? This time we're going to look at Marisol's sheet. Marisol, you can, and anyone else can pick a topic, an aspect that you have, and that is how he will try to approach them to get through peacefully here.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind, the Nawat love the sun, and they respect beings that represent the sun. And he's basically like, he looks like a light thing, right?
Yeah, kind of. He's very bright.
So they're gonna think he's something divine. Until, proven otherwise. So can we invoke Made of Hard Light on his sheet?
Sure. Do you want him to do this flashy, or do you want him to do this subtle?
Probably flashy, because they like loud displays of power.
All right, Jeff looks at them both with their spears out, and then produces his own spear made of light. Your weapons are inadequate for this. You don't know me, likely. Or maybe you do. My name is Jeff Lynn, King of the Moon. I'm made entirely out of this very light. While you dwell down here in darkness, I am as close to the sun as any human has ever been. So if you want to throw down, we can throw down, but I'm not here for violence. I'm here for soul searching. And what could be more relaxing than a simple walk around a well? What do you say, boys? Let's keep things civil. And then he grips the spear even tighter, and it flashes almost blindingly, releasing some of its energy. Let's see how the guards react to this. He is going to roll Impress. And they do not roll high enough to not be intimidated. These boys aren't, they don't have a death wish. I mean, they will fight to the death, but not against this. Instead, they speak amongst themselves in their common, their ancestral tongue, and feel it would be best for someone like this to meet their leader, the Sun Mover. And so they simply step aside and raise their spears, keeping them against the ground. They allow him to pass. He disperses his own light spear, bows ever so slightly as he remembers his etiquette, and walks forward through the tunnel leading to the well. Now, at the well, there are obviously a camp of Nuadal warriors. And there are also, possibly some of your characters from Twisted Nerve. Now Black Star Dojo, I believe. Dark Star? It's Black Star Dojo, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charna is likely... Was Charna be there, I guess? I dragged her out. She better be.
Sure. Yeah. 50-50 chance she's there.
You could have Charles be there too, of course. And
I don't think he would be there just because, like,
yeah.
this is Charna's digital boyfriend. That's a little weird if he's just hanging around all the time.
Yeah, plus there's a lot of shit going on, like, in the world, so he might have his hands full anyway. So Charna and Tona Sunmover are what are they doing there? What do you think that they would do, like, normally? Just meditate or play cards, drink? Yeah. Okay, yeah, he's just drinking and partying. They're actually, I'm gonna say, rolling dice. So go ahead and roll a 1d12 for me, and he'll roll a 1d12.
Oh, I'm Marisol now.
Oh, neither one of them are able to roll a 7 or 11. Tona, who is a large man, he has his headdress off, all the bone armor that he has, kind of like he's half wearing it, instead just choosing to wear a more comfortable robe with jaguar print and green feathers along the belt. He just grips his fist and hisses, "Damn dice, roll better next time. I bought these from a troll, and I swear that they are cursed." He pouts and then takes a deep drink of the wine that he has brought with him.
I don't think they can be threatened.
We'll see about that. He points a finger at one of the die. "You there, you think you're tough shit." He breaks away from threatening the dice when he notices that Jeff is approaching, just very bright. "Ooh, that is strange. That man," he points over at Jeff. "I have seen him, I think."
Charna looks over and sort of tilts her head. "Oh, yes, quite right."
Jeff approaches and gives a slight bow to Tona. "I understand that you are the chieftain here. Is that the right term?" Tona just kind of waves it off. "Yeah, you could say that, I think. Leader, war chief, chieftain, whatever. King, if you want. Though I don't have much of a kingdom to speak of right now. What is it that brings you here? Strange thing that you are. You're not a person, are you? You're like a shadow in reverse almost. Very odd." Jeff stares and then, "In a way, I guess I am. I'm having a little bit of an issue, and something has drawn me back to the place where I died, which is here. Currently, I'm losing some of my humanity, my stability. And if it goes out of control, I could very well be annihilated. So something drawn me here. Now I see the two of you. I'm thinking that maybe there's something that you have or could do that could change my fate. And obviously, I'm not here for a fight. So instead, I'll just say he has to roll at least a 2 to ask for help here. And he is going to roll humility for it. If anyone has any fate points, feel free to use them to invoke so that he can hit it too.
I've got one left.
If you have 1,
Yeah.
and you want to do 2, but you don't have it, then I will also include a compel.
Okay.
It'll be one of your compels, though.
The guard thing took away my fate point, right?
No,
Oh,
no, that was
sweet.
fine.
Can I throw in a fate point?
I think she's asking if we can split the fate points.
Yeah.
So I spend one, she
Do you-
spend one.
Okay, sure. After you spend this, you're at 0. Okay, so you're both at 0 now. So what is it that you're invoking then from on Marisol's end, and then what is Nia invoking?
Someone should protect the earth is interesting.
That
And
works.
Risen, because this is the place he died.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last question: should he ask this aggressively, or peacefully?
It's a party atmosphere. Doesn't particularly. No one's being aggressive toward him. I don't see why he would be aggressive back.
Well, it's Jeff.
It is Jeff.
He's being humble though.
He's trying.
I mean, Tanaya could probably pick up on like the bristling that it's taking effort for him to ask nicely, as someone who probably does the same thing. So both?
So here's the result then. First, he picks up the dice that have been rolled and begins to toss them up and down in hand. Humility's important, I guess. From one king to another, huh? Might come with hat in hand then. I've seen what you've done on the earth, that is. That light, those suns that were being cast from here to there, speaks of a certain magic or ability, a mastery of such. My brother was down there too, helping people where he could. I think in that way you and him are similar. Though he is not really a man of the earth. He is someone who cares about the souls of this world deeply. So, in a way, that makes us kin, I think, through Lewis. Both of you wanting to protect the world, both of you working hard and using every ability, every ounce of talent that you have to make sure that people don't die senseless deaths to powers they don't understand. That little bit of control that we have as people being exercised for the good of all. I admire you that way, though we don't know each other too well. He frowns. Do you think you could help me, knowing that I'm the one who put you here to begin with, in a way? The QSS. I helped to bring them into the world, lost control of them, and eventually they became enemies of mine. My control got out of my control. My fingers were cut off and turned against me. So I'm not just asking a favor as a friend, but also as an enemy of sorts. Does that make things easier or more difficult for you? I'm not sure. I guess it depends on your answer. Need help. If I don't get it, I'm likely to explode into so many different stars, unable to help anyone, to save anyone. No, I may be your enemy, or was at one point. I think now, at this time, in this place, we're probably on the same side, you and I. Can you forgive? Or will you just turn me away? Or worse, try to throw me into the well, maybe? Wonder what would happen then. Charna, you can advise Tanaya. Does Charna have anything that she would suggest? This is the guy. Yeah.
Charna would look at him, look at Jeff, and then straighten the eyes and sort of tilt her head and say, so you're walking through a desert with blind, with no face.
He tosses the dice up and down again. Yeah, I guess I am.
You'll find you'll have two paths then.
What are they then, soothsayer?
Well, I went down a path of darkness, but I wouldn't recommend it.
I had the option earlier, but I decided not to kill a mother and her child in public in broad daylight.
Quite a start.
It's the least I could do, right?
To say the least. You have not yet embraced your destruction, I suppose.
Nope. I guess I haven't. I didn't even really want to be alive again, to be honest with you. There was a brief second where I was perfectly fine with death. Nice release from all the stress and worry, but then I heard the most annoying voice calling out for me, crying. Ugh. And it woke me, stirred me from my slumber. And so I was put back together again. It turns out all the king's men didn't work hard enough. Humpty Dumpty did have a chance. And so did Jeff Lynne.
The well is nearby if you wish it, but she'll glance over at Tanayo. You have fixed me.
Tanayo strokes his chin and swirls his wine around in its cup. I never thought, in all of my days, that a man made out of the sun, something shaped like a man at least, would come to me begging for help. So proud and golden and powerful, and yet you are here in the shadows, near this wet pile of souls, on the brink of death. I have to say, even though you killed me, it may almost be worth it for this exact moment. I'll tell you what, I will help you, but only under 2 conditions. The first, you have to say please, and the second, you and I have to fight. What do you say? Jeff Lynne, King of the Moon, Laser Jeff Lynne, whatever you call yourself. Tanayo finishes his wine and puts down his cup, and gets up, and starts rolling his shoulder. Jeff has to say please. Let's see, he needs a 0. He has a -2. Does anyone want to self-compel to give him the 0 that he needs? You can also spend a fate point. Jim, you still have fate point, right? You still have 1.
I do. I will spend it.
Okay. Use a thing off of Jim's sheet. I want something that influences him to say please to be something that he's gotten from knowing Jim. And this one could be even, you could just invoke your trouble, you can invoke Night of the Moon, you can invoke even Sharply Dressed if you'd like.
Yeah, Sharply Dressed. I like that one.
Okay. So 0 fate points. He pops his collar and then adjusts his cuffs. Okay. I'll fight you. I don't mind that at all. As for the please, a man as well dressed as me never has a problem with manners. I learned that. There was a guy I met one time, a guy I've known for a bit. He's one of the best dressed men that I've ever met. The bare tuxedo that he wore was magnificent. I didn't really tell him at the time. I was honestly jealous. But I couldn't get a suit of my own that looked like it. That would be cheap. So instead, I settled on this. And he brushes his shoulder off. Clothing made of light. Almost as good. Tona just nods. Teddy bear suit or something, huh? Sounds stupid. Let's go outside to fight. Jeff nods, and the 2 of them begin to walk outside. Although, before Tona leaves, he does peck Charna on the forehead.
Oh, don't worry about me. This is going to be fun to watch.
Once they are outside and starting to square off, Tona has now removed like pretty much all his armor. He's fighting just in just skins, animal skins and feathers. He is punching at the air quickly, rapid chain punching, without the weight of his armor on and any weapons on himself. He's much quicker and swifter than he is normally. He also isn't as well protected, but he doesn't feel like he'll need it. Jeff has removed his coat, although when he takes it off and kind of flashes it by the Nahuatl warriors that are gathered, he does this on purpose to impress them. He just throws it into the air, and the coat explodes into just several. It looks like glass that floats in the air, of many different colors, before it like disperses with a very shimmering, heightened, like almost like a string sound as the light disperses. Let's see if you can impress them. Oh Jesus! Yes, they are very impressed by this. This will give Jeff a +2 to his next roll. And because he impressed them so well, I'm gonna say he gains 3% more stability. Yeah, the crowd cheers as it seems Tona has an opponent that is basically everything that they're interested in. The sun, like he's a weird reincarnated man, he's a powerful king, and their chieftain is about to throw down with them in a friendly spar. So they think, or so they say. The two of them are going to square off and have a fight, so that Tona can assess more about Jeff. In fact, he says as much.
I know it probably seems like a bit of bravado here that we throw down and we have a spar, but in order to know exactly what is wrong with you, I must apply the ripple. And unlike the weak medicine women and shaky old men where I come from, the best way for me to make that assessment is fist to fist. I take no offense, of course, if you get blood on my clothing. Do you even have that anymore? Or is it just red dye or paint or something? It doesn't matter. As long as it comes out of my furs, I don't care.
Jeff punches at the air, boxing style. He just throws a quick chain of punches, then gives an up nod to Tanayo. You know, to answer your question, I'm not sure what is in my veins. Other than, of course, the will to fight. Maybe some kind of photon wave, I assume. And you won't believe this. Probably chemicals from a cosmic jellyfish. They're very good. Nayo stops and raises an eyebrow.
The hell is a cosmic jellyfish? You moon people are so fucking weird. Maybe I'll beat some normalcy into you.
They square up to fight. About, we'll say, 5 feet away from one another, putting up their guard. Jeff in a more traditional boxing stance, and Tanayo in a style reminiscent of more ancient ripple fighting, Sando, the kind of origins of it. Hands spread wide as ripple energy begins to arc between his fingertips.
What do you say then? Count of 3, or just whenever?
Jeff extends one finger, 1, second finger, 2, and then the fight begins. As when he counts 3, he just disappears in a flash of light and moves in on Tanayo with a strike, like a punch. Tanayo, recognizing that this maneuver was occurring, is able to read kind of the flow of energy and throw up a guard to stop Jeff from basically striking him in the face with a laser quick fist, as he has already closed the distance in the blink of an eye. This speed and reaction very much surprises Jeff. It doesn't seem like much of a surprise to Tona Sunmover at all. He only grins.
Light only travels into one direction. You're easier to read than a book for children.
And the fight is now really going to begin.